everyone loves your voice because it sounds.
Good evening everybody, welcome to a very sunny Hungaroring where tonight our EU1 drivers are going to tackle 35 laps, but before they do that they of course have an 18-minute quali session, and joining me as per every week is Jack Prentice. Welcome again.
Yeah, pleasure to be here, and a very crucial qualifying session for a number of reasons. Hungary is known colloquially as the Monaco without walls, and that's because it's a very tough place to overtake. Have to really make the most of any opportunities you get, and qualifying can be crucial. However, it's not beyond the realms of possibilities that some drivers may try to start just outside that top 10. Because if they do, they get free choice of tyres and potentially a lot better mileage going into the early stages of the race.
Absolutely, and please let us know how my new headset is, everybody, on stream. I don't know if I'm too loud or too quiet, so let us know. 2 races this week have been done, especially on the European side, and they've both provided different things. EU3 on Monday was quite safe and secure, no safety cars, no VSCs, and was done in 45 minutes. EU2 yesterday night caused quite a lot of upset, 3 safety cars, and nearly, well, it was over 50 minutes. So what are we getting tonight, Jack, from these EU1 drivers?
I'm going to stick my neck out and say a mixture of both. They were quite tame, weren't they? In parts last week we thought, and then there ended up being 8 instances. There was a bit of goings on. But they're very skilled drivers, obviously. You know, they're at the top of the EU game in contest of speed. So, you know, there's going to be a lot of overtakes made that you may not see in other tiers. But I think there's probably going to be 1 or 2 that do find their way to the barrier, because it's a very tight opening lap, as we've seen.
Yeah, so we all know Hungary, of course, 14 corners, 8 right, 6 left. It's a short distance, 4.38 kilometres, meaning quite a lot of laps. 2 DRS zones, 1 down to turn 1. It's quite a long run down from lights out, of course, and then we have a Brazil type thing where we have a DRS zone straight after down to turn 2. We've seen slip strips and falls around turn 4, turn 5. We've seen dive bombs into the chicane of 6 and 7. And we've also seen, of course, the overtakes down the main straight. So the Hungaroring can offer some opportunities, but you're going to have to get down and dirty, Jack, aren't you? You're going to have to get your elbows out in certain situations.
Certainly, you're going to have to make the most of any opportunity that comes your way. Some drivers may put like pace. That's turn 1. You can go wheel to wheel and side by side through turn 2, but you need a willing dance partner if you to make it work through turn 3 and up into sorting out at turn 4. It's then very much single file. I mean, if you're very lucky, you can pass into the chicane, but it's that we're at now. I'm on board with Fruitful. It's very difficult to pass into that as you start the middle sector, and then it's left-hander, right-hander, left-hander, right-hander as you complete the second sector, and into quite a Mickey Mouse, quite technical final sector where you turn right. That's to create a bit more of an overtaking opportunities. as recently as 2002, from where they are at the current turn 12, much tighter right-hander. They launched into a 90-degree left-hander going into the penultimate corner. They've changed that layout to improve overtaking. And then you've got that final corner. The range of lines here, which means that you can really set up your opponent into that first corner. You know, if you take a slightly wider line, then what can happen is you can straighten off the corner and get a bit of a better run, but you can probably the best in terms of that overall lap time. If you're trying to do a qualifying lap, you'll see the drivers try and hug the inside wall and gently feel their way onto the power tonight.
Yeah, and 2 tricky circuits in a row, Hungary, and then next week we move on to the one of my favourites as a commentator, Monaco, of course. So two tricky weeks for the drivers, and I'm excited to see A, how tonight goes, and B, how next week goes. Most importantly, tonight is for focus, and Dynastics is about to make his way down to turn 1. Jack, could you take us on a lap of the Hungaroring with the McLaren of Dynastics?
I certainly can. So he goes into turn 1 now. That's 60 miles an hour. Gently feeling your way onto the power. You want to avoid that curve and straighten the exit as best you can. Wide entry now into the second real corner of the lap. Downhill, so it's very easy to understeer. It's all about setting up the apex for turn 3, an acceleration event here. Try and get as much speed up into the first sector speed. Flat out nearly through turn 4. You go down one gear before you get to what they call on contest of speed Roland curve, a 90 mile an hour right-hander. We get into this technical section that's the second sector, the chicane. Fires you straight out to a left-hander. No time to settle down. You're straight into a right-hander at about 120 miles an hour. Building through the left-hander at turn 11. We've finished the second sector now. Very nicely done from Dynastics, who's had a bit of a poor race last weekend. Now into the final sector. Turn 13 at the right-hander. Very easy to make a mistake there before you get into the penultimate hairpin, if you like. That sets you up for the final section and the final corner. Stay as close to the inside as you possibly can for best lap time, but don't do that. Yes, he got a little bit excited on the power there. He'll just have to refine that. Just a little bit too much power to begin with. He'll cross the line and it'll set up, well, it'll be a 1 minute 21.8, so not going to get him anywhere. And he's going to limp back to the pitch now. But that was almost, anyway, a faultless lap at the Hungaroring.
Yeah, you just don't want to ruin it at the end. Hello everybody on the chat, welcome again to Hungary. Also, here is Bolin in the Williams looking to take his second win of the season. He won in Spa last week, his teammate came behind him. Rowan finished third in Belgium, and we saw Simply and Vaporizer take the next 4th and 5th spots. So we'll see what happens at the end of tonight. Can Fruitful take it to Rowan? He said in his interview that he loves Hungary. So he needs to take it to Bolin. Jack, I'm seeing that a few people, quite a considerable amount, easy for me to say everybody, including EU2 and EU3, but there's not many times in, and we're almost halfway through quali.
Part of that's due to invalidations. It's a very easy track to invalidate, and drivers who stay within the white lines, not only in qualifying but during the race, will get a lot more purchase, because if you're one of those that tends to be able to stay within the white lines, as our friend Wizard is famous for in EU2.
Oh, someone's just spun their Jack on stream, and that is the Mercedes of the man who's pole, just around that turn 5 curve there, and that's going to be back to a pit stop for him, I think.
That's Roland Corner that is affectionately known. What he did was he got stuck into that curb. Once you get into that curb, you have to be very, very careful on the accelerator, or you'll just simply pendulum round. The rear end goes really light as the front end gets all the grip, and that's the result. That's happened a couple of times in qualifying and in the race, and actually it's a big factor. It's one of the many factors. Snipes goes pole, the EU2 pole sitter and race winner last night. Goes pole in the Ferrari. He's shown real form, hasn't he, since the end of the EU3 season last season.
Yeah, he said a 12.8 last night, Mr. Snipes, and Matty Robbo nearly had a breakdown. He couldn't believe what he was seeing. So Snipes put in a 12.9 there. Dressé Bassen went purple second sector last lap, but it was only enough to improve his time, but not his position. How's Fruitful doing? Fruitful's not doing very well, actually. He's facing the wrong way. at the final we've seen a couple of drivers do that. I didn't see much of it in EU2 or EU3, but the EU1 drivers seem to be slipping on that final corner.
They're putting a lot more effort in. The problem with Brutal is that's 2 runs and 2 sets of softs he's burnt up, so he really does need to get it together because it won't be as easy to come through as he's found it in the past. We're now on board with KV, who is invalidated as soon as I went on board with KV in the McLaren. Our friends in EU4 commentators, as well as the iRacing extraordinaire, runs wide at turn 12, and that's an easy place to invalidate. Happened to me actually on Monday night, and consigned me to 19th, where it must be said was not the end of the world.
Rowan's just done a 26.4 in the first sector. 26.2 is the fastest first sector. A 25.6. Sorry, Jack.
Yeah, no, I was just saying, just to follow on from that, that's where Stinson's getting his work done. He's a quarter of a second up on Vaporizer, who's second in that first sector. My stat is a little bit behind, sorry, so correct me if I'm wrong there. Vaporizer behind is then about a tenth of a second faster in each of the next 2 sectors. Now it must be said that my stat is quite far back, so I have to keep refreshing it in order to get this up. So yeah, Stinson is still the fastest man in the first sector, but he's losing his time everywhere else around the lap. So maybe that would point to me that maybe he's got a bit of a different setup on. Maybe he's got a little bit less wing, because sector 2 is where you'd expect more downforce, or cars with lower downforce to be a bit slower.
Yeah, total Pizza's just crossed the line. It's a 1 minute 13.466. No drivers apart from Snipes have broken into the 12s yet. How's Calzo doing? He's just coming out of turn 1. There looks to be quite a queue of cars towards that turn 6-7 chicane there. And I'm guessing maybe at the end of quali we may see a couple of traffic issues. I'm just trying to keep an eye on TAS about. I don't want to miss any purple sector, of course. Bolin might be on a lap. Okay, no, he said a 26.275.
Got Ricardo now, who's just starting lap. He's got a lovely bit of air, the EU2 driver, and the EU3 champion, really. Looking to be quite competitive, and I suspect he will be, to be honest. He's a driver that does build himself up through qualifying sessions, but does do better in race trim than he does qualifying, and I'm expecting the same here. Currently 13th on the grid now, which is first sector line. He's 2 thousandths up on himself, but he's only a quarter of a second now. Vaporizer marches his way to the top of the standings at the moment with a 1 minute 12.815. That's a gauntlet thrown down, isn't it?
It's not bad. It matches Snipes from last night. Yeah, my TAS is a little bit off. I don't know if that's a TAS issue or I'm not too sure, but
we'll just have to keep refreshing it as
yeah, it's just not working, but it's all good. On board with Bolin here, coming down to turn 4. Wow, look how fast he takes that in the Williams car, and he's heading to the chicane. It is quite scary. Definitely couldn't do that last year. Into the chicane, takes a lot of curve of 6 and 7. Yellow flags ahead. It's a Mercedes. Might also be a Red Bull getting out of a Renault's way down to turn 12. How's Bolin doing then? On the thing, it might have just updated. It was a 26.3, which is 0.065 off the leader coming into turn 12. Slight lockup. He's got the 2 hairpins to go, and Bolin will be looking for a good qualifying result here. It is quite a long run down to turn 1, as we all know, so good if you can get ahead on the grid. Here he is round the final corner of a Williams driver. Can he put it towards the front end of the grid? Crosses the line. Only P5 for Bolin.
Knight's his fastest in the first sector again, and he's a 10th up on his own lap, which would put him in and amongst pole position now. I'm going to watch this. He's perfect through turn 13. Now he's got to hook it up properly through turn 14. It looks good through there. A little bit of rear end slip, but that's not too bad. That won't cost him a lot of time. Now, just stays away from that curve. It's a beautiful exit onto the final straight, and it's pole position. Well,
and it's very close as well.
Down.
Yeah, it's very close as well. It's 8 milliseconds between Snipes and Vaporizer. Drivers showing pace this evening, everybody. Snipes doing a masterclass in that Spinala car. It got about 3 minutes 50 left, add about 20-25 seconds to it, so not long to go of this quali. How's KV doing? He hasn't got a time in. He's going down to turn 1 now. We can keep on track of that. I think he's one of the only fast people on track. and you got Fruitful behind him in his Williams car.
I think Fruitful is, yes, right behind him, so Cavey needs to make sure that he gets on with it, because otherwise that's going to put him and the Williams off now. Fine through turn 4, now as turn 3, sorry, now as he ends up to turn 4, very tricky, 26.6. Not a bad first sector, he's quite new, well he's not new, but he's re-new, he's relearning the game, he's not been on the... He's not been on the game for a little while, so he's 4/10 off at the moment in the first sector. This will be...
Oh, I think you've just seen, Jack. Fruitful was at a 26.169, which is half a tenth quicker than Snipes' first sector. And the second sector, Fruitful will need a 25.549. What's he just clocked?
I'm still trying to load it up.
Oh, 25.412. Wow, this is mega from Fruitful, by the way, Jack. That's over a tenth and a half, maybe two. Could be hitting a 12.5 if he absolutely maximises this final corner. He stepped off. Why did he step off? He was going pole.
I don't know whether he wants to start medium tires, so that's very strange. He's not going to get back round.
What? He was 22.
That's odd.
Why did he do that?
That's odd. That's really odd. Unless he's caught traffic.
It was nowhere near him, though.
But he's not going to get back round.
Why would he do that? He was 58 milliseconds quicker in the first sector, a 10.3 quicker the next
yeah, he
one.
backed off to the tune of 1.4 seconds. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
It doesn't take a lot to confuse me, but I'm stuck.
Yeah, that's baffled me, everybody. He's trying to get P11, I think. Yeah, but you can't.
He's trying to get P11.
Surely P1 is better than P11 on Hungary. I'm sorry,
yeah,
he's got to be.
But even if he was trying to get P11, though, he'd have known the time would have been a 1:13.3, so it's quite a misjudgment at 7/10 of a second. Unless he's going to go around and have another go, because he saved his ERS. Yeah. Maybe he thinks if he backs off, we'll get a bit more clear air, but even there, that means... Is he? No, he's pitting.
Carter's gone 8th place. Everyone's on outlaps apart from a couple, and it's the final fight for that pole slot. I've been told it's sunny conditions, or dry conditions for everything this evening, as have most races been in Hungary this week.
Out of everybody's way.
Where's Cavey? Oh my, look at the queue, everybody. I just shot up a minimap very quickly as we come down to turn 12.
Doing very well, to be perfectly honest. And you know that Mercedes behind him is going to start a lap. He's starting to weave. Yeah, fair play to Cavey. That's expertly done there from a bit of a veteran of iRacing as well.
Is it? Oh yeah, of course he is. What a stupid comment. Of course he is. It's for Sunday, man. I don't actually know him. I've never spoke to him before.
You were the man who's here with all the notes and all the research. I'm here to just wing it. That's how this works.
I've never spoke to Cavey in my life. I don't know whether I want to. I don't know. Is he nice? Might be a nice guy.
Yeah, he's lovely.
Is he a nice guy?
Lovely.
Nice.
Yeah, he's lovely. Here comes Snipes, speaking of nice guys. Here comes Rage, formerly Rage Snipes.
Yeah, Rage.
Fast Snipes, as he heads into the first corner. I wonder what treats he's got for us here now.
Well, Vaporizer's got a treat. That's a 26-1. Oh, he's invalidated after it. Sexa purple sector. And
stop commenting on times, because that's twice you've done that, and twice they've not gone on.
I'm supporting Vaporizer. Snipes through turn 4. Wow. Oh my! Oh, do you see that, Jack? He just clipped the left-hand side of that curb, and it gave him mega oversteer on the back end. I don't know it's going to cost him time.
But it's better to have done that and to miss the curb completely at Roland Curb.
26.169.
How much it affects it here.
Well,
he won't know that he's not going to be overtaken for pole. Vaporizer, obviously, great lap as it was.
Are we coming to the final lap times then? Here comes Reeser, he's only 6th fastest. Then comes CDR in the fry, he's invalidated. Won't have another go. Then comes, I believe, Ricky. It's not Ricciardo.
Great lap. 1 minute 12.7. There you go. Boom.
That's the one. Snipes crosses the line. It's a 12.807. Stays the same. Red Bull. It's Caladre. Can he? Oh, he backs off because he knows he's in P11, the cheeky devil. Is that it? Is that it?
Yeah, that is it. Mark Play. It's only Total P to come round. He's 13th at the moment, and, well, he's invalidated. So, no, that is everybody. All done and dusted.
So, I said to you, Jack, before this stream started, Fruitful needs a win here. He's 17th. Why did he step off? He would have been on pole. He would have beat that 12.7. He would have got a 12.6.
I don't know.
Why? Because I said to you, if Bolin wins this race and does well in Monaco, I honestly believe that's championship nearly done already. He's just too hard to catch. You've got to be beating Bolin at least half of the races of a season. Starting 17th, you're not going to do that. The grid's close, which is nice, but yeah, I'm really confused.
I'm sure we'll hear from Fruitful afterwards.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyone got an idea? Smart by Collidre. Okay, maybe that's maybe a good opinion. Yeah, of course he starts on a medium.
That was because he might have only been a tenth or so up, and if he was only a tenth or so up, he'd have been 8.
Yeah.
So no, I totally understand, totally get it from his perspective, but only Fruitful will know as to the whys and wherefores, unless he's just badly misjudged it, to be honest. But
maybe.
No, we shall see. We shall see.
It's a missed opportunity because there's only 11 races this season, and this is one that he likes and one that he's good at. That's what he said in his interview. Not my words. How do you pronounce Collidre? Well, I've just pronounced it like that, but Jack said something different, so I have no idea. 99 overall awareness. Collidre? Is that how you say it? Collidre? Maybe.
Collidre or Collider, but you'll get there.
We'll get there. Kitten Petter spells it phonetically. Collidre. Question is, do I trust Kitten Petter or not?
No. Okay, so we've got 30 seconds left. Going to be an interesting one. I reckon there'll be 2 or 3 that hang it out on soft tyres, because it worked last time. Hang it out on soft tyres, get to probably lap 8, lap 9. And then, if you can, anyway, and put hard tyres on from here. They will go the distance, hard tyres. You can drive home on them pretty much. But
you saw 32 laps from them.
Yeah, they've had 3 laps, haven't they, from soft tyres already? So it's a challenge, isn't it? It really is. It's all about how well you keep your tyres as to where you go from here and what you do.
The formation lap is underway, and as expected, tyres on the left hand side are probably what Jack would have predicted, even though we are seeing a soft and a hard member at the bottom.
Pretty surprised. Yeah, I'm not surprised at the hards, unless Fruitful's decided that he wants a safety car. He wants a safety car from probably
is that what he's
lap
doing?
15, lap 16, because that will buy him a pit stop. Lap 15, lap 16 safety car, when he's probably cleared most of the cars ahead. I'm surprised Calzo's on softs. That's not the way I'd have gone, unless he wants to be aggressive in the opening laps, which is possible. Some drivers have done it. Nobody outside the top 11 started on soft tyres on Monday. I can't speak for yesterday, but I can certainly speak for Monday in EU3. There's only the top 11 started on soft tyres. It's the top 10 here, obviously. Bolin, Snipe, Faith, Riser, Stinson, Rowan, Donastic, Frita, Carter, Dracer, and Cordorningolo. When I try and say that properly, I should probably do a bit more practice. Collider, Simply, Total Peas, Conzo, Ricky Ricardo anyway, and KV are all on mediums. Hard tyres for Fruitful. Calzo is the big gambler here. He's going to be on fresh soft. That will account for 2 laps. So he can really push those, and I think he can probably get to lap 9, lap 10 on hard tyres and maybe undercut a few of the cars around him.
We have seen in the other tiers that people can get insane starts, Jack Prentice, and maybe those soft tyres will help him do that. We're expecting the race to be about 44-45 minutes with this pace, and that doesn't include safety cars or VSCs, of which who knows what we're going to get over the next 45 or so. Is it going to be a classic seasonal banger, Jack, or is it going to be a bit more chill?
I reckon it's going to be in the middle. EU3 was very safe, very calm.
Yeah.
Well, in parts, a few drivers got damaged, but certainly nothing on the...
I believe all the cars on the grid, Jack. Everybody, get ready for 35 laps of the Hungaroring. 5 lights on ahead of the drivers. It's lights out and away we go. They were held for quite a long time. Bolin gets away well, as does Snipes and Stinson. And Bolin's on his own at the front and nearly 4 wide, including a Racing Point. And Alpha Tauri is backed up behind. 3 wide, Mercedes, Ferrari, Racing Point. The Mercedes got the inside, the Racing Point on the outside. The Ferrari's being sandwiched. We have a safety car already at the start of Hungary. And the drivers don't know what positions to put their cars in.
Those contacts there, I don't know quite who by and what, but I don't know whether it's a glitch or not, but Vaporizer and Snipes are ones that do have penalties. Snipes got away quite poorly, so I don't quite know what the situation is. Don't quite know where the safety car's out, to be honest. I don't know whether it's a glitched lobby, but certainly something's gone a bit amiss.
Konzo has broke right and left wing, both 100. And that is all the details that TAS is given at the moment. So Konzo, the man who was on the softs, right, Jack, who's had the worst start out of everybody.
Konzo on mediums. He has had the worst start, but he's on medium tyres. So that'll be. I don't know whether you go to. You would, to be honest, but it's, for me, I would suggest that there was. I don't know who there was contact with.
Oh, it says you've left the session.
Yeah, I've got the session.
I'll invite you back in. Not a problem. Yeah, I can hear you just fine. Oh wow, who's coming into the pits there, Jack? You won't be able to see. Top 4, top 9, apart from Rowan. There's a lot of the sauce people coming in, of course. I didn't expect a first lap safety car, but we've been given one, and the drivers have got to react to it. And we'll keep the tyres on screen for you, everybody, so you can see. Why is that? Oh, does he have a penalty? Yeah, it was Vaporizer who had a penalty, right?
If you've got penalties, it makes sense because it's a free opportunity to get the penalties off. But if you haven't, I wouldn't, because you're probably going to need to pit again, or if not, your heart will be very, very, very warm.
Who's first?
Sometime you get to the end. I've still got Bolin leading.
Rowan's first. Can confirm.
Okay, so my tax needs another restart. It's going well. So yes, I have at the moment the leader is indeed Cohen. I'm back in the session, by the way, so you don't need to worry there. Neither of the Alpha Tauris are pitted. Rowan on softs and Total P's in third place. He's made up a bucket of positions on medium. So I'm just looking through now. How many did indeed pit? Bolin, Stinson, Carter, Dynastics, Racer, Vaporizer, Calzo, obviously, Snipes, Risa, and Simply. Calzo's 15th. How did he beat those cars out? I mean, I know there was a 5-second penalty, but he was missing half his front wing. So,
true,
yeah,
maybe just being further down with the Renault might have helped him. The standards have now updated. I've only seen since the 1.16 update the standing to be absolutely atrocious. And if people lose connection, let's say you was on track, it'd tell you were 5 laps down when you'd just be racing on track maybe in P9.
Yes, affected Hershey quite badly last night, affected Wizard in the ED, but, you know, at least these updates, they're fixing, I don't know what they're fixing, but they're fixing something, but it has made...
Fixing it very well.
Yeah, well, it has made everything just that bit more difficult for us, and to be fair, we needed things to be made more difficult, so, you know, fair play to Codemasters, they've done what they needed to do in that regard. But... rather than moan, let's commentate on this still exciting race. I think the safety car will be in at the end of this lap.
Of course.
It'll be Rowan and the Ferrari of Corden and Golo have to break away at this point. I don't know that they will, but they have to try and at least break away. Because Total P's, Calibra, Ricardo, Fruitful and Kavy will all have really good mileage. Gonzo's pitted, by the way, to go to the back.
Yeah.
Don't quite know why he's pitted now, but maybe he thinks that the next lap or so might just do the hard side well. So, yeah, the front two have really got to break away because everybody behind them will be on quicker tyres fairly quickly. So, if you're Rowan and Corden and Golo, you've just got to take everything out of those tyres, and if it's for 4 or 5 laps, so be it. Pit for hard, and you'll be able to go to the end, and maybe 8 or 9 laps or a difference on the hard tyres, or probably 6 or 7, isn't it? 6 or 7 laps of a difference on the hard tyres might just win you the race later on when those hards start to struggle.
Safety cars definitely mix up stuff. No optical illusions here. It will change strategy for every single person who came into this probably with a medium hard kind of thing. We're on board with Konzo in Moreno, just trying to catch up to the rest of the pack. He's nearly there now, but let's not have an unnecessary extra lap because he's been going slow. I don't know if he's doing it on purpose. There we go. But my lander has turned his lights off, and we're about to get going for the second time after lights out here at the Hungaroring. When we cross lap 4, 32 laps of racing to go, and as Jack said, we have seen the hards go to the end, but another safety car or VSE down the line will certainly mix things up. Rowan's in charge, he can go whenever he wants. The safety car is now in the pit lane, and he's gone. Upshift to gear 3, and he's been very careful on the final corner, but gets away well. And Koda Ngolo doesn't get away well, and Total Pease is right. Total Pease is...
gonna have him now.
He is. AlphaTauri inside maybe. Is he going to make the move? They're going to go wheel to wheel, soft versus medium. The Ferrari might just be able to pull a little bit of a gap and have the inside line down to turn 2. Here we go. The Ferrari versus AlphaTauri, and Total Pease does not step off. He's going to go for the inside of 3. There we go. Pushes Koda Ngolo wide. He comes back on track. Nothing like the Renault McLaren last night.
Difficult racing there, but firm racing. Excellent from Total Pease. He's really put himself in a place now to really capitalise. Because he'll catch up to his teammate. We suspect that the AlphaTauris will cooperate. Koda Ngolo just caught asleep, to be perfectly honest, whereas Total Pease was wide awake.
Oh!
He's been pulling back, isn't he? Because Collider's having to go there of all places.
He was, yeah. That's a very... Did you say variable? Yeah, it's a very variable place, I guess. And just states...
Not the place I'd go racing, to be perfectly honest. You set it up for here. But, you know, you have to make hay. Tyres are cold.
Gotta go for it.
A bit cold.
Look at that view.
Excellent view, isn't it? And, well, it's not according to Ngolo, because he's just reversed backwards and dropped like a stone. Other drivers who have made a bit more progress. There doesn't look to be an awful lot, apart from the fact that Konzo has got past Simply Rush in the basement battle down there in 17th.
Is it McLaren going wheel to wheel with Bolin? No, it's behind. It's Dynastics and Carter, sorry, as we head into turn 1. And Dynastics is ahead of Carter. No DRS until last lap. Is Carter going to try and come back? No can do from the Canadian. And Dynastics is ahead in P10.
So, looking at this, you would say, I'm just looking at these tyres now when Codemaster stops being Codemaster. So, Dynastics and Cool Hands cars are both on hard tyres. Not many, apart from Calzo and Konzo, so the Flying Scotsman, have clumped the medium tyres, apart from those who started on them already. So all of these are gambling on either another safety car before to the end.
Yeah.
Now, you've got Fruitful, who's only got 2 laps difference on his hard tyres. He's now effectively the lead hard driver. KB first man into the penalties, the McLaren replacement, who's getting a bit more experience, must be said, on Formula 1, having been away now for a few months. But yes, going back to my points, Fruitful effectively he'll have to pick his moment carefully when he pits. Put the medium tyres on at the right point, could get escape them, he can still be on for a really good finish. These hard tyres will be pretty poor towards the end of the race, because they'll have done effectively the whole race distance, and so that really does come into it, say from lap 30 to lap 35, still a couple of drivers struggling on Monday and Tuesday night, even, you know, when they've done sort of 30 laps.
And the DRS train begins, I guess. Leader gap for front to back, only 10 seconds. And Bolin was under pressure from a Mercedes of Stitzer on board, but just couldn't quite force a move round turn 2 a few seconds ago. Calzo has forced a move round Vaporizer. I think they just went wheel to wheel through turn 4. Vaporizer got a warning the lap before. I think Calzo would have got a warning for that. And Vaporizer has got back ahead of the Renault, getting a bit feisty in this midfield. Got to be careful.
Yep, no, everybody does have to be careful here, especially with it being really quite a narrow track as well. That's another thing that doesn't get spoke about that much, the fact that it is a really narrow track, and that does mean that any move has to be really well planned, and any track extension is severely punished here, I think it's fair to say.
Fruitful with DRS ahead of Ricciardo, he doesn't have DRS race, and let's see if a Williams driver can make a move down to turn 1, and that'll be for P5 at the moment, but I think he's too far behind. But we've seen things being done. Ricciardo goes defensive, fruitful down the inside, going for the move on Ricciardo. Ricciardo fights back in his car, but can't quite get the traction. Fruitful's ahead.
Yeah, those hard tyres are really starting to switch on now for Fruitful. Ricciardo put up a brave fight. He's got very good race car craft, but he does know when to say no when he's beaten. And I think that's very firm but fair racing from the Welshman. Fruitful realises he's got a job to do, and the more medium runners he can put between him, the better as far as he's concerned.
Stinson and Bowen almost came wheel to wheel out of turn 3, and then Stinson had to push through turn 4 and got definitely a warning, that's for sure. So he's on a warning or two. Total P's is doing well on those mediums. He's have a soft dropping off now. We can have a look on Task for the percentages. They are 49 compared to 16 on the mediums.
Those rears are going to be really struggling, whereas the medium tyres at 19 and 17% are going to have so much more grip and so much more confidence.
That's backed up.
They're also 3 laps older. Backed up, as you say, I believe you're about to say, the fact that Collider is really rather bothering Gordon N'Golo, isn't he?
And this is going to be an easy swap.
Here we go.
At the front, easy swap. The AlphaTauri teammates are going to swap, and swap they have. Can Ricciardo gain on Fruitful? Not quite.
Yeah, formation flying there. Rowan realised what he had to do there. His race comes a bit later, whereas Total P really does need to get gone. If he can get out into a gap, get as much distance between himself and the chasing pack as possible on those medium tyres, then that really puts him in a good position for later on. With good team racing from AlphaTauri, sorry, so many Alphas here. From AlphaTauri, great team racing from them, and it's a very smart move now. He's going to hope to maybe even drag Rowan along if he can, because Collider is looking very, very threatening in that Red Bull, isn't he?
Yeah, he is looking good as well. Is Ricciardo showing some good pace. Caber's just behind, but penalty is going to hurt him at the end of the race. So of course, if he's self-inflicted, nothing can happen, but if he was pushed wide or something, he might be able to get it off. But I'm guessing, Jack, from what you said, it might be a little bit of an overrust, that penalty from Cavey.
Quite possibly. It's probably one of the worst tracks to come into if you're pretty fresh into Formula 1, or indeed if you haven't played the game for a while, because it is a very technical track. It's a track that punishes mistakes worse than most, to be perfectly honest. So, but he's in at the moment, and he's doing a rather good job in P5. He's keeping out of trouble, and as long as he keep out of trouble at this track as we saw last night, it's also half a chance.
Stinson wants to get past Bolin. You can see it. He's tried 3 times and failed. It'll be coming soon. Cavey, Bolin. Oh, Bolin! Step of traction, but Williams, and that might hinder him a little bit going down to turn 4. Is Stinson prepared to go wheel to wheel? I think not. But Bolin struggling just a little bit, pushing those hards beyond their capabilities. And now they've caught right up to that McLaren of Cavey and simply picks up a pen at the back.
Simply the worst for outcome for him, I'm afraid.
Oh no.
16 with a time penalty, that's going to really hinder him later on with so many cars to try and pass. Rowan obviously pitting now for hard tyres. He is definitely going to the end, and he'll be absolutely fine to do so. And now it's just a case of seeing who cracks first. Gordon N'Golo, the undercut that hard tyre is such that he's only actually half a second behind. He's got nearly 2 seconds in, and that's how bad the softs were, but that could also be the difference in terms of how much tyre mileage they get. Now, it's a battle for not the race lead, but certainly a point playing position, I might wager, for Rowan and Gordon N'Golo. It might be worth taking a look at this. No space in battle at the moment, as Stinson again. Stinson's trying to pass Bolin, and
he might have a go at it because Bolin overshooted the corner, overshooting. It doesn't really matter. Stinson might be able to go around the outside of turn 2 here, and he's going to try it. Lock up on the front. Who's going to commit the most? I think Stinson is, and so is Bolin. And Stinson's lost it. Has he completely lost it? I'm not sure. Hasn't completely, but he's going to lose places to Carter and Dresse Baton. He tried too hard and just dropped 4 places in the process. Very unlucky. Oh, someone's gone.
It's Calzo. Not the best race for Calzo, I'm afraid. He's had plenty of strife so far. Obviously missing his front wing at the start, and now round and in defence.
Is that damage? No damage on Tass.
I can't see damage, but I can see Calzo. Well, I can see some damage, but it's minuscule really. It's 12%. So no issues there. Yeah, Stinson, difficult really when you go side by side through that corner. A lot of give has to be given by both drivers, and if you make slight contact on that front end, then you're going to have a situation where you're going into the inside car goes into the wall, and that's what happened there. But Bolin is willing to show, or has shown that he's willing to fight for these conditions, isn't he? So, yeah, I suspect that Dynastics, when he comes up behind him, might just have something to say about that too.
Just say Basson has passed Carter there. Dynastics is right behind the gearbox of Bolin. Dynastics looking quick this evening. Just Bolin and Dynastics struggling to get past that McLaren in front.
Yeah, problem with Dynastics is that he's got problem for Dynastics is that he's got KV ahead of Bolin, so
which will let him pass.
Nah, I don't know whether KV will let Bolin pass. Because then you've got Ricky ahead, so they might do a bit of team racing, but it's going to be difficult there. I don't think Dynastics is going to need it because he's got more ERS, and I think if he spends a bit now, he might just get the jump on him because he's got 20% more. Bolin will already be in sort of conserve conservation mode, whereas Dynastics doesn't necessarily need to do that.
Caladre is now in DRS range, well, just gone off it, a DRS range of total P, so he's showing some good pace. And let's see here then, because Ricciardo hasn't been able to pull away from KV. It's close, it's 9/10, but KV's got that DRS, of course. I don't think he's going to be close enough.
Not quite.
He's getting closer, isn't he? He just needs to nail a prime exit of that final corner, and then he might be able to have a go. Just.
Rowan's driven away from Corder and Golo, so that's not going to be a battle anymore. Yeah, difficult really, because if you gave it, you don't want to let Bolin pass, you don't want to hold your teammate up. It's a bit of a conundrum here, because this could be effectively the lead. Well, it is the battle for the lead between these two. These haven't got a pit. Well, technically, they don't have to pit again. They might have to in the end. They might decide to do so on tyre mileage, in which case you bolt on a set of fresh softs and off you go. Whereas Bolin's missed that apex now in turn. I think it's turn 10, isn't it? That right-hander. Turn 10. He's missed that apex a couple of times now. And each time, then that's just had a little look there.
Yes, indeed. Matti Robo has made a good point. KV's actually doing really well. He is. Without that penalty. He's been pretty good.
In there, isn't he? Given especially the fact that he's not had much time on the game in a long time, he's been more interested, and fair enough really, he's more interested in his iRacing, which has been coming along really well. He's been fantastic for the contest speed iRacing division, hasn't he? He's really put in a lot of time and effort, not just into himself, but the team as well, getting that team together.
Oh, Bolin struggling here. Dynastics going to make him. Oh, he was just gaining there down to turn 2 with McLaren. Bolin's exits are letting him down every now and again. It's just a slight slip, and it's killing him.
He doesn't look particularly happy on these tyres, does he? But no, you're right. If Bolin didn't have the RS, then Dynastics would have been passed a long time ago. I feel.
Oh, that's a Williams. He's through full. It's second in the championship. The championship leader from last season has made a mistake out of the final bit of a chicane, and that is exactly not what he would have. Oh, his rears are overheated. They're way too hot. He can't even drive, and now he's going to be passed by Rowan as well. Oh dearie me, he was ahead of his teammate with only 2 laps over the hards, and now he's at the back of the grid.
There is a man that needs a safety car.
Oh dear me.
It all goes back, doesn't it, to the qualifying lap. We will never know why and what happened. I'm convinced, the more I think about it, that something went wrong there.
Is Bolin going to make his move on KV? KV goes defensive. Bolin's going to go round the outside. KV's going to hug the inside in his pink and white helmet. Is he going to have enough momentum? No, he isn't, but he might let his teammate go past here. Maybe not here. Maybe on the straight next lap. But Bolin is ahead of a McLaren, and now he's got Ricciardo for company.
I think KV might let him go here, to be fair. You going to do it? No. No, I'm a bit surprised at that, to be honest.
Oh, he's got his second penalty for going too fast through turn 4.
Stay in the lines, KV. Nah, still doing a fantastic job. Put up a really good fight there against Bolin, but Bolin just had the better grip and was able to just about get past. It made it a bit more difficult than it could have been, to be fair, and now Specs is going to let Dynastics loose on Bolin. Total P,
The race leader.
3 seconds there, and I don't think they're starting to pile up, aren't they? Let's be honest, they are starting to pile up.
They are, and that, yeah, it is a big moment, Steve. That was that the moment the championship got away. Who knows? Because there's only 11 races in the season. Your friend Cavey takes his pit stop. That moves everyone up one, who of course comes past him. And Caladre has dropped off the pace a little bit. Maybe Pease was pushing quite a lot, pushed too far, and got that 3-second pen.
Pease has much better, or much worse rear tyre wear, but his fronts are wearing rather better, which tells me that he's got a bit more front end on the car. Whereas Collider's gone for rear grip, which will probably pay dividends towards the end. Conzo's now in the pits as well for hard time.
Oh, are we going to go wheel to wheel through turn 4? Oh, oh, and Stinkson gets a penalty for it. He moved out of the way because he thought Carter was going to go wheel to wheel, and then Stinkson takes an outer line to allow room and gets a penalty for it. Oh dear, that didn't go quite to plan for any of them, to be honest.
No, difficult one really. That might get looked at. You know, if he's trying to sort of take evasive action, they may look at that. I'm not sure that they will. But you know, this is the track of the same. It's the ruthless, isn't it? It really is.
It's throw it all, Carter. A little step there on the rear end. Like Jack said, the penalty's starting to add up. We're lap 16 of 35. Not halfway quite yet. Who's under pressure here? Is it Kulhans Carter from Vaporizer now, the racing point? Oh, he's going to go on the right hand side of the house. That's cool. Goes down the inside. Is it going to work for him? I think it is. Carter's going to do his best to get some momentum. Here comes a Ferrari of Snipes behind, who's going to go on the right side of Carter here to go round turn 2. What a heady shot this is, by the way, everybody. And the Ferrari can't get past the Haas. But good effort from Carter on the defending.
Elbows out there.
From the Ferrari.
Yeah, so he couldn't stop Vaporizer, but yeah, he managed to stunt the progress of Snipes. Snipes was getting really rather racy there, but Kulhans Carter, to his credit, stuck his elbows out and said, "No, you're not coming past here, sunshine."
It was good. It was a good overtake from Vaporizer. I don't think he'd go down the right, but he found the gap, went for it, and executed it with perfection.
So IFR Bolin, meanwhile, has relieved Ricky Ricardo of third place, and Dynastics, I would suspect, is about to take fourth, one way or the other. Whether Ricardo pits. Does Ricky pit? Yes, he does.
Just to think of it, Kevin didn't really help his team out, did he? Too much. Because now Dynastics... Okay, he's only got like DRS because of Ricciardo.
It's a tough old track to do so, but he looks fundamentally quicker anyway, so... You know, he's got 18 laps to try to pass him one way or the other, so...
Yeah,
I think
true.
You know, from our perspective here, in terms of racing, you know, you want him to work hard. He's certainly done nothing wrong, and he's trying to get himself back into the game, and that's what he's doing so far, and doing it rather well, it must be said.
Apart from the pens, he's doing well. Reese just behind Snipes at the moment. That early safety car. Oh, I just saw that on screen. Just went very wide at turn 4. Definite penalty for Snipes there. Excuse me, that might hinder him a little bit come the end of the race.
Yes, but penalties are going to be a big factor, really. It's I think there'll be plenty of drivers who do get time added onto theirs. There's already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8 already out of 18, so we're nearly half of the field penalised already. So I suspect that will only go up.
Are you? If there isn't a VSC or safety car, do you think the hards bolling down to, for example, Simply will go to the end?
They can, but I personally wouldn't, because they'll be pretty rough towards the end. So if you've got a lot of fresher tyres on and you're coming through the field, if you're able to get through the field, then you may well be in prime position later on. At the moment, that's not happening. Collider's taken these medium tyres a long way, isn't he? I think he might be going to soft tyres towards the end, because he did start 11, and 17 laps is a long time for those mediums to go.
Yeah, let's have a look. Oh, my laptop's about to die. He's not doing bad on the tyre wear, to be fair. Biggest is 54. That's not bad for
So if he
17
can
laps.
probably get, there'll probably be in that case 54. That's 3% thereabouts a lap. So with that, if you try and track that, as I'm going to try and do some maths now.
I just crossed me Google off my computer and now I've lost everything.
So that will probably be, don't worry about that, I've still got it. So that will probably be about 70-75%. You know, when he does stop, and I think he's probably going to go medium to stop. No, he's not. As soon as I say that, 18 laps, he's decided to lap them. He's going to go to hard side.
Yeah.
The line is going to be very quick towards the end. It'll be interesting to see exactly when he comes out. I think so. He'll be 13th, 12th or 13th, I would suspect, before. You know, when he does come out, he'll be just ahead of Cordon-Golo. One would imagine he'll be just ahead of just behind. From there, well, anything's possible.
Absolutely right. We got everything back on. That's great. And I can now see all of you. Hello, 56 of you, I believe. That's amazing. And Vitas is back. Okay, so the hard runners have now retaken the lead of the Grand Prix, of course. We got Bolin, then comes Dynastics. Dynastics is looking racy, and he has been for quite a while. Dressé Basson, then comes Stinson, then comes Vaporizer, led by Carter, led by Snipes and Ruisa, and Simply are the top 9 on the same tyre life, and we'll see how they crack on towards the end of the race. Definitely not counting out any slips, trips and falls for the rest of the race. When we cross the line, we'll have 16 laps to go. Still a very long time to go. 20 to 25 minutes, I'm sure.
So, yeah, 20 to 25 minutes, 16 laps. Dynastics now, if he's thinking about this, he'll probably stay away from the DRS a little while. Let it build up. You've got DRS to give yourself a bit more straight line speed. Let the DRS build up and let Bolin defend. Because Bolin's spent a bit now down the straight, so let it build, and then maybe attack them up towards the end. Because he's quite clearly more comfortable than Bolin at this stage of the race. So you've got 1.5 second buffer to Dracer. Dracer's not going to be giving you too many problems. So from there, it's about, you know, really just the long game at the moment. And that, I suspect, is what Dynastics will be thinking. It was a poor start to the season, last week, sorry. So it's about now, promotion, making sure that it's flawless from the start.
What's that about mic volume in the chat? Is it quiet? Is it loud? It should be fine. Just let us know. We can sort it out. Not a problem. So, I don't know. It didn't say. It just said they have to put up their mic volume when they log into the account for the first time. It's maybe because I got a new microphone. I don't know. I think it's fine. I'm listening to it myself. Seems pretty fine. Bolin got on the curb there, and that might have slowed him down a little bit. Like you said, I don't think Dynastics is going to go for a move just yet, but he can protect what he's got and build on the battery side and maybe the fuel side. I'm trying to look at the wheel, but I don't need to because I've got a brilliant task system. Snipes and Carter, excuse me, needs a hiccup going wheel to wheel there. Who's come out ahead? I think it's just Carter, but he may have to go defensive, and there goes Snipes down the inside potentially. Carter stays there for now. It's getting close between those two for P6.
It's been pretty dicey for a little while now, hasn't it? Carter's not quite fallen off the back of Vaporizer. Vaporizer's got a bit of a roadblock ahead. Dressé Basson really doing a fine job for Red Bull. Carter, having not fallen off the back, means that Snipes can't get any further forward.
Limmy is okay. Tell Jack to turn it up. Go on, Jack, turn it up. Let everyone hear you even more.
Well, if people do want to hear me dulcet tones, I'll let you crack on, and I'll be just a second or so as Konzo gets himself another penalty.
What a way to end. Snipes chasing Carter. Carter's chasing Vaporizer. Vaporizer chasing Stinson. He's chasing Dressé Basson, who is out of DRS. Sorry about the notifications. I'll turn them off for next time. I did turn them off last week. Someone's obviously turned them back on. It's not my account, this. It's a shared account. Whoever turned them back on, ridiculous. Dynastics. He's not going to gain. Is Ruisa going to gain on Snipes? What happened to Snipes there? Something happened. Not the best exit. And he's dropped to 8th place.
Yeah, stuck behind Cool Hands Carter for a little while. I think they got a bit too close through the middle sector. Reese's there just to pick up the spoils, and that is mostly what this race is all about. You know, picking up the spoils and seeing just exactly where you can go and seeing what you can scavenge, really. Effectively like a vulture, really.
Oh, the race leader has picked up his first penalty. Not just the race leader, the championship leader has picked up his penalty, and Dynastics is probably licking his lips. And if I see one more notification, I will have to blue screen you all and get rid of them. There you go. Right, Jack, if you could just commentate for a second while I turn these notifications on.
You're listening to radio.
Oh, God.
Second, so he can afford to take his time. Now, DRS open, still no ERS pushed. Bolin, meanwhile, is in pretty dire straits with the DRS. He's only got 14% left as they hit the brakes. Dynastics, meanwhile, has nearly 50%. So, it's going to be a case of now he uses it out of here into turn 2 to really put the Flying Dutchman under pressure. Goes round the outside. That could be an excellent move. Now, Bolin sticks his elbows out. Dynastics gives way for now. But that change for the lead, I think, is coming now. Bolin really did have to get on the defence there. Just moved himself out a little bit off the apex in order to stop Dynastics having the inside for the flat-out turn 3, the right-hander, coming out of the left-hander, and they all settle back in. But this change, I think it's a case of when, not if, Limmy.
Yes, notifications are off, and I just missed whatever just happened. But the company started cool, and Dynastics looks to be putting some pressure on now, and it's not long to go. If they're going to go to the end, will they go to the end? Who knows? If one of them picks, will the other stay out and try and chance it? Oh, it's all strategy decision, and the best one will win. It's that simple.
Front tyres are in worse shape to the tune of, probably 5 or 6%.
This could be it. Maybe it's getting close. I don't think it's enough. 150-meter board. Oh, he thinks about it. Thinks about not doing it as well. Down to turn 2, just like a Brazil, 1 to 4. His Dynastics going to have another go here. Is Bolin going to go defensive? McLaren round the outside. Same as last lap, I presume. But Bolin's staying ahead.
It is, yeah. But Dynastics puts out a little bit early. If he is going to make the pass now, he is going to have to get down into turn 1, I think. I think he's going to have to mix it up because Bolin's got that move covered for the time being.
I saw that! I saw that. I was on board with Vaporizer, and Risa, he put pressure. That's what it is, Jack. He put pressure on the Red Bull of Risa. He goes too far and gets a penalty. That was just pressure.
Yeah, Dracer did go wide there. Stinson, I think you're getting your Risas and your Stinsons mixed up, your Dutch and your Danes. Stinson has relieved Dracer there at...
No, Vaporizer, did I say? Vaporizer.
Vaporizer
and now, he's been done! He's been completely done! Oh no, he hadn't, it's connection. Okay, disregard that.
Yeah, it is connection. I think it's Cool Hands Carter who might be suffering with connection there, although I'm, to be honest, looking further towards the front. Stinson, meanwhile, has passed the Red Bull of Dracer for third place. I think that might well have been what you were referring to there.
Potentially. Maybe it was connection getting involved in that as well.
It might well have been.
Both. I'm waiting for the move because obviously we can't be on this every single lap and just see a McLaren sit behind the Williams, but he's got to make the move at the right time, just like Risa may have done on Carter round the outside of turn 2, and Simply Rush staying behind Rowan for P9 there.
Yep, right, so Rowan has moved Simply Rush and done his teammate a turn there. Total P's, they're working together those two. Total P's on 6 lap old hard tyres. We've got a real chance here. Look how close that is. Now, Snipes is 8th. You know, it's a big old train from 1st to 8th place Snipes, and we're all going on the same strategy. Now, Rowan is on pressure tyres by 7 laps. Total P's pressure tyres by 16 laps. If you're Rowan, you might let Total P's go, pass him, and then see what the other car can do, and hopefully try and drag you along here, because 6 lap old hards here are going to be an absolute gold mine. I think he could see himself right up into the top 5 or 6 if they play this right.
To compare it, that is Where is he? Where is it?
P9 and P10.
Yeah, it's 22% compared to 57 at the moment. That 6 laps or 7 laps and 23 now.
Yes, no, I think you're spot on now. As I think Dynastics might just have learnt his lesson here. We've got Stinson now coming at him.
He doesn't have a penalty. All he has to do is just stay behind. We could be seeing Vaporizer and Weasel on the podium here if they don't get their penalties.
We could, but I think for Bowler, if I'm just going to take a look now and check the penalties. Dynastics, he's going for the Golden Wizard Award. He does not have one warning. So that will play to his advantage. You'll know that, obviously. Stinson behind is 3 seconds plus another warning, whereas Bolin has just these 3 warnings. That's 3 seconds. No extra warnings there. So yeah, Dynastics really.
Oh, that's an Alfa Romeo. It could be a safety car. It's on track. It's out of a chicane, and it has been given a virtual safety car. That might be the opportunity for these hard drivers who have been on them since lap number 3 to maybe pit and go, I don't know, softs, mediums. I don't know what's going to get to the end, but Charlotte, Simply Rush having a mare.
You might pit. You might pit and go for medium tyres, depending on how long the CSC stays out. It was gamble. Surprised nobody's gambled. There's a cheap pit stop. There's only to 140.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
That's Fruitful's race 2 of 11 over, and it was over when he spun, probably.
Yeah.
It's completely over now.
Yeah, it's. I mean, that's the fat lady's son there, isn't it? She's been doing it for some time.
Oh
But
dear.
Well and truly done there.
And that is a big 25 potential points missed from Fruitful, and who knows, does it go back to him stepping off at that final corner at the end of quali where he could have taken pole quite easily. Who knows, but it is Bolin who leads, then comes Dynastics, then comes Stinson, Dresse, Bass and Vaporizer. The message that they're sending us, Jack, is even with a VSC, they're not pitting, they're just going to the end.
Yes, they're very, very bemused with the I'm surprised nobody gambled. To be perfectly honest, I'm surprised nobody gambled. You know, even if you're sort of set the race, you may as well put some medium tyres on.
We have seen though, Jack, that even with a VSC, the pit lane it's like 14 to 15 seconds. It is actually quite long here, even with a VSC. So maybe that played into account a little bit.
And it is a difficult track to pass.
Dynastics may have a chance here actually. He's actually pretty close to Bolin. I said actually twice in one sentence. Is that even allowed? I don't know. Bolin goes a little bit wide. Can the McLaren get that traction down? Got a bit of extra percentage on his tyres, so may refrain him. And Bolin puts his car right in the middle of the track. Oh, the McLaren of Dynastics. What is he missing, Jack? What does he need to do?
If Dynastics is to make this move, he needs to try it into turn 1, because he's tried now 5 or 6 times going into turn 2 and it's not worked.
Yeah.
Bolin's had it covered. You may as well mix it up. You've got 3 seconds left to play with, so you can afford to go down the inside into the first corner. If he does get you back in the second corner, that's fine.
Vaporizer's just got ahead of Dracer going into the chicane. That was nice. Only caught the last bit of it. Vaporizer now into P4. Now he can close to the cars in front.
Opportunity Matic's finest there from Vaporizer. He's getting his work done, isn't he, after that unfortunate collision under the safety car. The stewards may look at that, but the problem is it's been served, so there's probably nothing they can do really there.
Yep, they can't, can they? And that's a lot of drivers have been asking, you know, could there be an option on the pit window thing of your MFD to say to not serve a 5-second penalty or something like that. How's Total P's doing? That's a free pass past his teammate there, and Rowan letting him pass Snipes and Carter. This is for like the 4th time this Grand Prix, and Snipes this time is going to go around the outside. It's not Carter on the outside this time, it's Snipes, and I think he might have that move done just about, because he's got the inside 2 and Carter might go for a switcheroo. Did you like my rhyming, everybody? Doesn't pay off. Snipes is ahead.
Yeah, Snipes got his elbows out and just went a little bit longer onto the brakes into that second corner, and that just meant he was able to cut off any run around the outside and put Carter just off the rippy line. Very well played from Snipes. He's now got some work to do to catch up to Dracer Basson ahead, who's just lost 5th place to IFR Research.
It looks like if Rowan still got that penalty and Kalidra doesn't, that could be the top 10 almost done there, because CDR's 4.7 behind with a penalty. So looking like the top 10 is done at the moment. Not long to go, 6 laps when we cross. And looks like Dynastics, so far, don't want to jinx it, is looking confident to take his first win in EU1 and the second race win of the season.
Yes, I don't think he'll do it because he can't get away from Dynastics. That's the thing, though. He'll win on track, Bolin, but
it doesn't matter. Bolin's penalty won't get taken off. I saw it live.
No, it won't get taken off. But Dynastics is also a quicker car, and he's got no warnings at all. So there's no chance that, certainly no chance that it gets taken off or that he gets away here, unless something really bad happens to Dynastics. And even then, you've got Vaporizer in fourth within that 3-second window, just about.
Just got to be careful because looking at the TAS thing on the time, actually Dynastics, it says he don't have any warnings, which is pretty incredible. Vaporizer has 2, Risa has 2, so they've got to be incredibly careful. Oh, can you still hear me? What's happened to my headset?
Oh, cool. You, don't worry.
Yeah, Vaporizer and Risa have 2 warnings. Dynastics has 0. That's pretty incredible. Fair play. What a drive if he can keep behind Bolin and take this checker flag. What a drive.
Yeah, it will be fantastic. I'm very surprised that these hard tyres, obviously being 1 and 2 laps old, are able to get to the end. They'll be 34 laps old by the time they get there, so it will be a long old stint for them.
If Caladre can keep it clean, he will surpass a lot of drivers. Can he keep it clean? Oh, it's Rowan and Carter, is it? Oh no, it's nearly a freeway going into turn 1 here. So Caladre got ahead of Carter, but didn't quite get ahead of Rowan. So that was tentative, but yeah, Caladre trying to make some places, and especially not having a penalty at the end.
Cool Hands Carter has just been relieved of his point position there, and the Upper Toweries are doing as we thought they might. Total B's have been let go. Rowan is holding on for a decent points finish in 9th, and yeah, Total B's has been let loose really. They've got Drayton and Snipes immediately ahead, 3 IFR boys as well, if you include Rita. And yeah, they might look after each other, or they might just get their elbows out.
Who knows? Fruitful set the fastest lap. That won't count. He just won't get the point for it. And yeah, I didn't think I'd be seeing Fruitful in P16 at the end of this Grand Prix. That's for sure. Take the 6 off for P1. We may have had it, but not to be. We're on lap 32 of 35. 4 laps of racing to go. We've had a safety car on lights out. We've had a VSC. Other than that, it's been pretty safe and secure, hasn't it, Jack? Overall.
Been clean. They've raced with their brains a lot more than we thought they might, to be fair. They've raced really with their brains in order to sort of, take a bit of stock. Say, okay, well, let's see how these things end up and just make sure they don't cause any trouble.
Oh no, it's going to be a wheel-to-wheel through turn 4, Jack. It's St. P's. Who's going to give in? No one's going to give in. They're both going to work their way through. And somehow, none of them got an extra penalty for it. Ferrari inside of 5 have touched each other. It's getting a bit tetchy as we head into the chicane. No one's given up on the fight. And Total Peace has to skip the chicane a little bit and still doesn't get a penalty.
Don't know. That'll annoy Snipes. He's a combative man in the first knock-ins. Difficult to see how they'll read that. They might give 5 points there, but it was a difficult one because he was forced off the circuit at turn 4, overshot turn 5, and then I think Snipes tried to sort of move him up, sent him to the grass, and then when he sent him to the grass, he wasn't in control, and so from there, it's yeah, it was always going to end that way. But they've survived, and that's the main thing.
They have survived. I didn't think both of them would, but they did. And Rowan's going to go down on the inside of Snipes. Got very close to touching. Is it the starboard or port side, the right side? I always forget. But incredibly close to hitting that right side of a Ferrari, but does get ahead in the end.
Yeah. So
starboard's left, isn't it? Is that right?
You're asking the wrong man.
Anyone know anything about boats? Let us know.
Yes, and the Alpha Tauris are getting on with it now, aren't they? They've got another man in Dracer ahead, and they really do need to motor. Bad luck for IFR Snipes, is converting a pole position into a second placer into a ninth place finish at the moment, but and with Collider behind, he's likely to go back. Collider's getting himself well out of trouble, isn't he?
Matty says someone's tyres are going to let go. We can have a quick look on the telemetry. 68% for Bolling, 78% for Dynastics. Oh dearie me. Oh dearie me, that's not good. 78% and he's pushing like that. Dear me, 72 Simpson, 75 the highest for Vaporizer, 78 for Dressé Basson, 70. We're into the 70s. Punches could happen at any point, and the man who's going to win this race has got to be incredibly careful, because I've seen punctures for very less than 78%.
So it's 79 for the rear left for Dynastics. These really are taking a bit of a battering. In front left is 76. He's the one that's sort of most in danger, really. Him and Dracer Basson are the ones that are most in danger of picking up a puncture, whereas Bolin has looked after his tyres rather better.
He has, but look how fast Dynastics is still. I mean, he has to, because if he doesn't drive that fast, Bolling's going to pull away. Porty's on the left. Think of it how they let people out. Okay, I'll think of it like that. So he hit the starboard side of the Ferrari, which would be the right side. Thank you very much. Total Peace. 2 steps away from Dressé Basson. Are we going to see a forced move? Not illegally, of course, on the Red Bull. And oh, he went wide at that turn, and he got a penalty for it. He's pushing too hard, and on screen are the penalties. Oh, it's a 6 as well, and he may drop down to 10th for that. Oh dear.
Total Peace got a penalty. So was IFR Simpson. He's got a 6-second penalty as well. So yeah, bit of movers and shakers, and they're going to be moving downwards. I think Dynastics at the moment is just keeping himself in touch. On the final lap we are now. Bolin is going to win the race on track, but those rears aren't looking happy either, so goodness knows what Dynastics are going to be like when they're 10% worse.
81%. Yeah, I was just about to say, and Fufu's got another penalty. What a treacherous race for the championship leader. And Dynastics has got a minute of the lap, not less, 45 seconds of the lap to carry those tyres to the end. And Bollin's trying his absolute best to pull what he can of the 3 seconds. And look at all the lockups that Dynastics is doing. And he's having to race as best as he can, knowing that one slip would ruin his race win. But he has deserved. He's raced incredibly well this evening. And any final words, Jack, before we cross the final line, final lap?
Been a well-controlled race, hasn't it? Amazed to see these tyres last the distance, to be honest.
I am incredibly amazed.
In the case of Dynastics, especially with his nearly 85%, they're 83 at the moment. I don't think there's any more time on that, but here he is. Bolin is going to cross the line first, but Dynastics is going to kickstart his season with a victory. Ahead of Stinson on track as well. Vaporizer manages to nick third. Bolin saves a second place. So very well done to the Flying Dutchman there. Collider, we said he was going to pick up places. 5th behind IFR Rita.
How close some of the times are. 2 tenths, 1 tenth, 3 tenths, 9 tenths. Very, very close at the end of the Grand Prix. What a win. What a drive from that man on screen. Doing it for Jack's McLaren boys. And 25 points will be going his way, and he was faster than Bolin all night. There's no hiding away. Even without DRS, you could tell that Bolin was struggling all the way, every lap. Managed with 80 whatever percent, 85 whatever it was, managed incredibly well. Another race, the tyre could have popped, but I'm happy it didn't. And what a drive from that man, and he fully deserves the driver of the day and the second race winner of the season. How nice is that?
Drivers this week with driver of the day, but I'll say no more on that.
4 tenths off his personal best on 80% is crazy. Yeah.
Well, it's just a magnificent consistency, isn't it? Let's be honest.
60 viewers as well. Love that. Thank you so much, everybody. Now there's a podium, and that man there getting sprayed by Batman deserves every bit of champagne tonight. I don't know how old he is. I don't know if he's a kid. I don't know if he's a teen or an adult. I don't know if he's allowed champagne. but he deserves it after that. How long was the race? 47 minutes. Not long at all. 6 on the grid, by the way. Didn't even realise.
And the drivers into the
Kalydra, 11th to 5th. 4 IFRs in a row. Fruitful's nowhere to be seen though. He's right at the bottom. Bolin does not take the win after starting pole. What would have happened if Fruitful did finish that lap and start on pole, which he would have got looking at the time. Simply Rush out. Calzo Cavey, Fruitful Carter in the bottom 5. And Ricciardo, not too bad, was up there early on. Dropped to 12th, and Snipes probably could have done better than the P10 that he got. Total Ps. By the way, just looking at the maths, that penalty has cost him a P6 total Ps, because it would have been minus 3 seconds. Of course, podium sitters, Dynastics, Bolin, and Vaporizer. That is a nice podium interview inbound, and I believe Jack has invited, well, 2 of them already in.
All 3 have been invited. But we do
Oh,
have,
just invite Fruitful anyway, so we can actually know why he let off. Yeah, I'd love to know. I have no idea. I'm shocked. I'm still in shock.
I think, and I'll mention this now, Mother might want to word with him for his new feature for this season, Contest of Speeds podcasts. There's been 3 at least already with the EU3 winner from Monday, Connell, who's really put himself in the shop window, hasn't he? Dan, X427, a stalwart of Contest of Speed. I won't plug mine too much because I sound like I'm bigging myself up, but those are the 3 that I'm aware of. It's something that, fair play to Muzzer, he's done really well with in setting up.
You've gone super loud, Jack. Super loud.
Yeah, no. Well, I was told to turn it up, so I have. But no, it's yourself and Muzzer who put it together. We're just waiting for the race winner.
It's all Muzzer. It's all Muzzer and his wife. It's I just help him out.
Dynastics is in.
I'm going to invite Fruitful just in case. I have to ask. I'm sorry. I don't know. I have to ask if he doesn't join. I understand. I have to ask him. I'm sorry. Right, Jack. Let's go.
That was affected by you, or for you anyway, by the safety car and the goings on. Just talk us through what actually happened between you and Snipes in order to get yourself that penalty. So from, oh yep, you first. Yeah, no, we did see that you were in line for pole position as well. So obviously, once you've served that penalty and everybody's bits, you drop yourself back to, I think it was 9th or 10th, or even possibly below. Once all the if you discount the fact that the medium runners and the soft starters didn't pit ahead. So at that point, does it become like a sort of a salvage operation? Is it just like, okay, let's see what we can get from this, and anything that we pick up, we pick up? Is that very much what it was like?
Well done, Vaporizer. Nice to have you on the podium interview. Nice to speak to you again. P3 in quali, P3 on the grid. Pretty much summed up your night, right? P3. Is it here? Oh, he's gone. Oh, here he is. Are you satisfied with a P3? Let's have a look at your gap. Yeah, but you had pressure behind you, didn't you? The whole race. I mean, you had the pushes of Risa, Kalydra. Yeah. Yeah, so that's 25 points for you. That's a P5 last week and a P3 this week. Are you happy with that at the start, and how are you feeling towards Monaco next week? Beep! Okay, that's fine. No, thank you for your honesty. Well done on the podium. Nice to speak to you. Hope we can see you again soon.
Bolan, we're going to move on to you now. Second place in the race. Okay, you led most of the race afterwards, but those penalties really did kill you. Were you feeling the pressure from Dynastics, because he was right behind you, all behind, all through the race, and he just didn't pick up any penalties, did he?
No, that was smart for him. I did 2 mistakes. That's why I got a penalty, unfortunately. And he was smart to stay behind me and just drive with me. So yeah, he didn't pick up. I don't know if he didn't pick up a warning, but he got the win, and GG to him.
Yeah, so very sporting there. Obviously, no, it's a 1-2 in terms of your perspective. You had a first this week and a second, first last week and a second this week. So, that's only 7 points dropped. Really, you must be delighted with how the season started.
Yeah, for sure. This race was the first race on my wheel. It was a little bit of pressure. The race pace wasn't that good, but it's still the first race, so I need to learn a lot. Like on the traction, I was pretty slow in sector 1, but in sector 2 or sector 3 I was, I think, pretty good. But the quality was good, the last lap, and that's why I could drive in front all the time.
Bolin, well done. Nice to see you again on the interviews. Dynastics didn't get one warning this evening. Would it be fair to say that overall he was the quicker man tonight?
Yeah.
Because he set a personal best on 80% tyres.
Yeah, he was quicker than me, because I was one time out of DRS, and just one lap after he was like 6 tenths again. So he was clearly faster than me, but I had already a penalty. So he didn't need to overtake me. So GG to him.
Do you feel going further down to the season now, but people like Dynastics, who I don't know what your thinking is, but you may not have thought that they'd be as quick as they are. So do you now feel that Dynastics could be a potential rival for the rest of the races this season?
Yeah, but I think everyone can be a rival to everyone if they practice and if they have a good track to drive on. Everyone can be a rival to you.
Yeah, that's a fair point. And Monaco next week, Bolin, give us your thoughts.
I hate the track really hard, but I hope I can drive on my wheel, so I will practice and see what happens.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you, Bolin. Well done again. And that's a 1-2, maybe back to 1 in Monaco, eh?
Yes, I hope so. Thank
Good
you.
man. Thank you, sir.
Move on to the winner now, Dynastics. Dynastics, well, after a poor race last week where nothing went right, this was the perfect answer, wasn't it, this week?
Yeah, I think you could say that. Really perfect race driven by me, so can't complain.
No, you certainly can't complain. You were quicker than Bolin for most of the race. You were sort of ducking and diving, trying to get past him, especially into turn 2. At what point did you button it off and say, okay, I'm just going to drop back and stay within him? Or was that the case, or was he just quicker towards the end?
That's hard to say. Toward the end, I was just conservative, saving my tires. I knew he had to go over 3 seconds in front of me, but yeah. So it was in control the last 5 laps, I think. Overall, it's a hard track to overtake, so I did manage to do a complete safe overtake on him. So that's why I didn't got in front of him. Yeah. So
Dynastics, welcome. What a win. What a drive. 25 points go to you and McLaren. I bet they're going to be happy with you. Apart taking out the safety car laps that you do, how hard is it to drive at that pace for about 46 minutes of Hungary? Is it stressful?
Really know what. Yeah.
Do you have to sit tight, clenched, and concentrate?
Yeah, you really have to concentrate because you can't do stupid moves, and all your moves have to be safe, and it's hard to overtake, and it's stressful to be behind someone when they are a lot slower than you, especially. So.
And you tried about 6 or 7 times, I think Jack counted, to try and get past Bolin into turn 2, and it wasn't working, and then we just saw you stop it. At that point, were you just, I'm going to stay behind him?
Yeah. I thought of going to overtake him in turn 1, but the final 10 laps, I think I wasn't close enough, because turn 2, I just couldn't get past him. I had to go around the outside, but yeah, it's hard to overtake there. So I took the safe race, the final 10 laps, and just stayed behind him.
We saw your tyres at 85. How bad were they, and were you seriously feeling that a puncture could happen?
Well, last week I got a puncture when my tires was around 75%, so I was really nervous about getting a puncture at the time. But I'm happy the game wasn't against me, and yeah.
Well done, buddy. Final question: Monaco.
Oh my god. I really hate it.
Top 4? Top 6?
No.
No?
I'd be happy if I survive.
Okay. 39 laps, that's all it is. Alright. Thank you, Dynastics. Well done on your win. Jack Prentice. Oh no, actually,
okay.
whoa, I need to get fruitful. You got to answer one question. And you know what the question's going to be.
Tell me.
Why, when you're about to go a 10th.5 pole, did you step off?
I practiced on the softs, and my pace was literally so incredibly slow on the softs that I just didn't want to do it. I wanted to start on the hards, I just didn't want to start on the softs. As those tires, no.
So you actually wanted P11?
Yes, but...
And you completely misjudged it?
Yes.
That's what Jack said. I was like, why is he doing this?
Yeah,
my
race was terrible.
How can your pace be that off if you were about to go a 10th.5 pole? You were literally over a 10th from the...
Oh no, my pace actually was quite good, because I could easily go with the medium tires, except for a few drivers, but I just spun, and then my race went completely to, you know what I want to say, so...
Yeah.
No, just...
Beep!
Let's say some things, broke after the race.
Well, let's be... Oh, you were angry. Well...
Oh, I were angry, yes.
Let's be honest, you've now got a lot of work to do.
Oh, yes. Yes. The championship is maybe going to be really difficult from now on. So, it's going to be a really hard task to be even closer to the championship.
And you've got people like Dynastics who are literally on a track this evening quicker than your teammate, who has had an insane start. It's going to be difficult for everyone, but I want you to come back, because we know what you did in EU1, but it's only 9 races to go. One of them's Monaco. You're going to have to pull out something incredible.
Yeah, my Monaco pace normally isn't that good, so I really am hoping for a miracle next week.
Good man. Now, Jack Prentice.
Well, been a bit of a difficult race, I think, for some here. Certainly a few ups and downs, twists and turns. You've asked everything I wanted to ask the Fruitful, to be perfectly honest, so I'll just start.
Oh, sorry, I just wanted to ask him about one question, to be honest. I was shocked.
I think there's everything I wanted. Obviously, things just went away from there, didn't they? But it shows that at Hungary, you can never really count out the outside. I don't think anybody was expecting Dynastics to win the race, but he's certainly done it on merit. There was no luck involved, and it certainly shows that whatever you do, you have to tread carefully, as people can attest here now. I'll leave it to you to sum up, Libby. We're at Monaco next week. I think we've mentioned everything that we need to mention, apart from, obviously, once again, the partnership with the fantastic F1 Armchairs group, and you can check them out on Facebook. They will certainly be the place to be in terms of Formula 1 discussion, apart from Contest of Speed Zone forums on the Discord channel. I'm sure I'm right in saying.
Social media, everybody, please do your best. Send in any footage clips the drivers are listening, either following, subscribing, whatever you need to do, because the social media team, are putting a lot of effort in. Thank you to the interviewees. Thank you to Jack as always, and I can't wait for Monaco, but we've got to wait a week for it. So take care, stay safe, enjoy EU for tomorrow, and I think there's an American thing tonight, and enjoy Endurance on Friday and Saturday because we're in Japan. So that'll be fun, and we may mix things up with a little bit of custom weather here and there. Thank you everybody, have a good night.
No worries.